Cars and Coffee. It's John at Porsche Colorado Springs again. Today, the guys are checking out our 1979 adventure car. It started life as a 911 SC. Needed some love. We were kind of toying with, do you do a restoration on it or do we want to do something kind of crazy? We went with crazy. So this thing's fantastic, ton of fun to drive. Excited to hear the guys' impression of it, but kind of a perfect Colorado car. You can drive it on the dirt roads, you can drive it on the road. It's absolutely fantastic. So we've got it up on an Elephant Racing suspension, Yokohama Geolander tires. So they're actually a really good tire for kind of on-road and off-road purposes. LED headlights, extra fog lights. We had a local fabrication shop called Luftkraft fabricate this nice cage kind of basket for the top. Everything's really solidly mounted. Got some bash plates underneath and everything as well. For the interior, we gutted it, added some Sparco Evo seats, roll cage in back just in case you do kind of roll it down a hill. But you know, I think what's fun about these is it proves you don't need something just perfect to have a lot of fun with it. You know, when you get kind of up on this, the paint's burnt out. It's got a rusty shovel on the hood. You know, it's just a really, really fun way to experience Porsche. You know, driving Rampart Range Road, Mount Herman Road, all of the little dirt forest roads. It's just awesome. The waves you get from Jeep guys and from dirt bikes and from pedal bikes and everything. It's really just a fantastic way to experience a Porsche.
Hey guys, so you know who we are. So it's Terry and Steve, and we're on our little light roast thing. So we were able to get a 1979 911 SC Safari.
Yeah, it's in petrol blue metallic, and it's got gold stripes. Engine lids over a black interior. So
yes.
It's been a fun project car for the guys at Porsche of Colorado Springs. They initially thought they were going to do a restoration project, but then they changed their plans to make it an adventure car.
Yep. Yes. So it's based off of Ferrari. Yeah, so some people know that Porsche did make a lot of Ferraris, factory-made rally cars. And for the life of me, I forget what was the first rally they made it for. I looked it up.
Yeah, we can find out. But
yeah,
it's got off-road suspension, off-road tires.
By Elephant Off-Road.
LED lights, custom bumper guards.
Yep.
Underbody protection, like some body trays.
And the gearbox is a close ratio. As I said, the suspension is Elephant Off-Road.
The technicians removed the engine and a transmission, and they had it re-geared by Bill Rader Motorsports.
Yes.
And gave it a full service, oil, filter change, new plugs, wires, valve adjustment, all that stuff. And like you said, Elephant Racing.
Yep.
They did the suspension components. Allows it to handle off-road tires and rugged terrain driving.
Yeah.
Now, what kind of rugged terrain driving did we do today, Terry?
Oh, we went up on Rampart on the off-road trail with this, and we had a little bit of fun with it. But yeah, we had some fun with this thing, and honestly, I'll tell you right now, I mean, I know these things were made for rallying. When I was a kid, I saw them rally. They were under Rothmans colors, and Rothmans were cigarettes, in case you were curious, you know. And so this thing is actually pretty good. And now, after driving this, honestly, now I kind of understand why you kind of like Safari everything. Because it's really fun to drive. Yeah, we're in, you know, racing seats, and I've lost a lot of weight, so it's not that bad.
Oh,
for me.
It's quite comfortable.
Yes.
I'm snug. I could say I'm snug.
You know, and it has plastic windows with the side vents, and has like the you know, racing seats and a 5-point harness, which we're not wearing. We're just wearing regular seat belts because I ain't dealing with that.
Yeah, we're just wearing the regular harness.
You know, there's no sound insulation in here at all. I mean, well, there is a little bit, but they took it out from the back because there's a roll cage in the back.
It's a little loud.
Yep.
And it's a little toasty in here.
Yes,
but
it is.
Actually, we're still grinning.
You know, this is definitely something that Porsche Colorado Springs wanted to do.
So this is a 79 SC.
Yes.
It's got a flat 6, 180 horsepower engine.
Unmodified.
From what I could find out. Yeah, they said it was the stock, other than just the refresh that they did on it.
So yeah, I mean, driving it is, you know, because we drove from the dealership up here to Rampart, and in traffic, I'm gonna tell you, it's kind of goofy in traffic. It's, you know, this is not your daily driver, kids. You know, if you do something like this, it's kind of like if you want to get into amateur rallies. It was nothing serious. Just have some fun with it, like I
Yep.
did, and what Steve did, just driving it around.
And this is a tribute car.
Yeah.
That the owner, or actually the Porsche Colorado Springs, they wanted to
Yes.
to do a tribute to the safari cars of
Yes.
the 70s and 80s.
But some of these things. But yeah, this thing is actually kind of fun. It doesn't have power steering, and I haven't driven a car without power steering in a long time. But you know what? It's no big deal. You probably can hear it. You can hear the air-cooled engine in the back, and and it does make a whine when you put it in fourth and fifth. Which, if we're on the highway, you would have heard it, but we're not. So, thank God. I think I can get in fourth.
I've only driven this on the dirt, and
Yeah.
I didn't quite get it to the fifth gear.
Yes.
Not even close.
When I was driving on 24, I got into fifth, and it definitely has some good, wholesome noise. I don't know. I could probably get in fifth now and see if it does it. Hear that?
Yep.
That's great. But I don't need to be in fifth.
So I saw you were getting a little tail happy
Yes,
there.
yes. Well,
On
rear
some of
engine.
the dirt turns there.
You gotta love what that entire weight is in the back. And I did let it break loose a little bit. This is what this thing was meant to do.
Yeah.
And if it really was nice just to bring it up on a little bit of dirt and have some fun and let it do what it's gonna do and kind of get what it must have felt like back in the day when they were rallying these.
So Terry, how's the shifting in this 5-speed?
So I'm used to my shifting my BMW, which is a close ratio box like this. This is a little chunky, I think is the word.
Chunky.
Is chunky the word that we're gonna use? It's an old gearbox. It's from the 70s.
That could also describe your host today.
Yes, we are
couple of,
chunky.
Chunky guys in a chunky car.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I haven't driven a gearbox like this since the 80s. And so it is kind of refreshing. It's more of a manual engagement. You know what I'm saying? Yes, it's a manual, but you kind of have to feel the gears a little bit. It's
right. How is the steering feel?
It's heavy
Yeah.
because there's no power steering, and it does have the off-road tires on here. It is heavy, but it's not oh my God, it's so heavy I can't drive it. It's if you were gonna drive this to a Cars and Coffee, you're fine.
Oh, yeah.
You're totally fine.
Oh yeah, be fine.
It's fine. It's not gonna kill you. You just can't drive this thing in the middle of July.
So we've got a partial roll cage as well.
Yes, we have partial roll cage and no rear view mirror. It's a real fun to drive. It really is. There's no driver aids, which really don't bother me. I'm not. It's not like
Right. There's nothing. There's no airbag. There's no. I mean, we got seat belts.
Right. We have seat belts. There's
That's probably the limit of
traction
your,
control and
your
all of that
safety,
stuff.
Measures there is a seat belt.
So it does kind of give me the old time nostalgia back in the day when for Steve and I, we had cars, like this that were very, the extent of the safety was, brakes and, seatbelt.
Do we have working windshield wipers?
Yes, we do.
Good.
Yes. I'm about to relive my youth in a 911 SC from the 70s with rain. Because when I was a young man, my father had bought one and it rained. And most of you should know I lived in England, so it rained and we were living in Cheadle. Actually, no, we were living in Bramhall at the time. And it rained and he was driving it and it swapped ends on him and he sold the car a week later, basically. So I'm about to relive that.
A few moments later.
But I'm not gonna swap ends on it because I'm not gonna do 100 goddamn miles an hour.
So I saw you popped off the trunk lid
Yes,
earlier.
yes,
So we could get a look at the air-cooled engine.
yes. It looks like a big giant Volkswagen engine.
It does.
It does. It wasn't that exciting, guys. So I'm happy it's raining because it's cooling us off.
Yeah, it was warm.
It was
It
warm.
was quite warm in the sun up on Rampart Range Road.
It was quite warm driving this thing
And
up
we just
Rampart
have
Range.
small little sliding windows.
Yes, that's
It's
all we
It's
have.
about a 6-inch by 6-inch hole, allowing the air to come in. Actually, that feels nice.
Yeah, actually it does. Holy crap! Look at that! Look at that! Oh yeah, this is pretty good. Oh, people are dicks. This idiot. Oh, this is great. We are home. Oops.